All right, my algebra students, let's talk about let's talk about your homework today. We went over some of these in class, but I want to go over it again to remind you how to do it. Remember, when you have an absolute value means anything in here turns to positive. Because absolute value actually talks about the distance from 0, which is a positive number. So, even if I had negative 32, the absolute value of negative 32 is 32. But the absolute value of 32, positive 32, is also 32. This is why when we do problems like number 1, we want to set this up to either equal the negative, because see, this negative 32 equals positive 32. Or we have it equal the positive, because the positive 32 equals positive 32. I know it sounds confusing. Follow along and hopefully you'll get it. So in this problem, we set n minus 1 to equal positive 3, but n minus 1 can also equal negative 3, because like this, the negative will turn positive within the absolute value. So once we do this, we add 1 to both sides, n equals 4. And in this case, I add 1, and n equals negative 2. That's how I would write it. The answer is going to look like that if you were to look at the answer. So when I come over here to this one, again, whatever is in here, it can either equal the negative 11, because that equals 11, or it could be just 11, because 11 equals 11. So I'm going to do v plus 1 equals 11, and v plus 1 equals negative 11. I subtract 1 from both sides. V equals 10, and v equals this, negative 12. All right, let me switch to a different pen that works, but let's also look at some different ones. So this is going to be the same kind of thing where you're going to equal this to 36 and negative 36. This equal to 13 and negative 13. But down here we come to 5. And when we see this negative 5 outside of the absolute value, that's like saying negative 5 times 7 plus 1, or n. And when we do that, it's a multiplication. We don't want that here. We want that to come over here before we solve the problem. So before we can go further, let's divide that both sides by negative 5. That cancels these 5s out, leaving you with 7 plus n in the absolute value equals negative 5. We did this in class. Look at me. Negative 5 goes into that once. Then it's 20, which is 14, and that's a positive because two negatives equal a positive. So now that I have this, I'm going to have this inside the absolute value equal both positive and negative 14. So 7 plus n equals positive 14, and 7 plus n equals negative 14. Can you hear Pepper in the background? She's so loud. Let's see what she's doing. Look at all my papers. Pepper, show everyone how gross you look. Oh, and she walks on all your papers. Okay, back to this. Over here, I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. N equals 7. Subtract 7 over here, and x can equal negative 21. which is what it says right there. For number 7, the first thing I want to do, I want to get this absolute value by itself. So in this case, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I get x divided by 5, the absolute value, equals 1. In this case, we know that x divided by 5 could equal 1, or x divided by 5 equals -1. When we multiply by 5 both sides, we get a plus or minus 5. You could write it this way, or this way. Because see, if I multiply both sides by 5, not 4, that's x equals 5. And this side is multiplied by 5. X equals -5.